Thank you. For the 2 or 3 people in the room who don't know what Minister Naftali Bennett, please allow me half a minute to tell you more about him. Naftali Bennett is Israel's Minister of Education and Minister of Diaspora Affairs. He's also chairman of Habayit HaYehudi, the 3rd largest party in the government, and a member of Israel's Inner Security Cabinet. Before entering politics, he co-founded and served as CEO of Ciota, an anti-fraud software company, which was sold for $145 million in 2005, and today it employs over 300 people in Israel. As a commander in one of the IDF's most elite commando units, he has led soldiers on counter-terror operations deep behind enemy lines. Today, he holds the rank of major and is an active reservist in the IDF's elite General Staff Reconnaissance Unit, better known as Sayeret Matkal. He grew up in Haifa, was active in Bnei Akiva youth movement, received his law degree from Hebrew University in Jerusalem, and most importantly, he's married to Gilad, who's a professional pastry chef, and they have 4 beautiful children and live in Ra'anana. We're so delighted to have you with us, Minister Bennett.
Great to be here. Erev Tov, great to be here.
What keeps you up at night?
The future of the Jews in Israel and the future of the Jews abroad. In Israel, the big picture is it's looking good. Israel is on a very good trajectory from an economic standpoint, technology, security. We do have a few bad neighbors, but we're on top of things, and I'd say that over the next couple of years, we have to check Iran. But what really keeps me up at night is the future of Jews outside of Israel. You know, when I look at the 100-year litmus test, how do we keep the eternity, Netzach Israel, of Jews, especially in America? And as Minister of Diaspora, by the way, Minister of Diaspora means basically I'm your minister, so good to be here.
You're accepted.
How do we ensure that we have a vibrant, powerful, strong Jewish community here in the United States and across the world? It's vital, first of all, for one reason, because of Netzach Israel, because of the eternity of the Jews. But also it's in Israel's national security interest to have a powerful diaspora. And for the first time in Israel's history, we're reversing the role. It used to be, as Miri said, she said the Salach Shabbat, it used to be that if I see an American Jew, either open up your wallet or make aliyah. If you're not going to donate or make aliyah, well, nice to meet you. Today, Israel is strong, and to some extent, the roles have reversed. It's our national mission to strengthen the bonds between Jews all around the world, especially in America, and Jews in Israel. So that's what keeps me up at night, and that's what we do to fix it.
Well, you know, this is a paradigm shift, because for many, many, many years, the whole emphasis was on Israel Asbara, right? Let's get the talking points, let's make the case for Israel, and that was sort of seemed to have been the dominant sort of feature, whether it was in Israel or even in America. But it seemed that they were skipping Jewish identity. And what I'm hearing, which is very similar, by the way, there was an event for Birthright at Adam Milstein's house last year, and Sheldon got up to speak about Birthright, and he mentioned Jewish identity. So what people assume was all about Israel was also at its core about Jewish identity. So what I'm sensing is you're not skipping that step anymore, that you understand that the closer American Jews are to their Judaism, the closer they will be to Israel.
Absolutely. Tell you a story. My parents, Jim and Myrna Bennett, they were born, grew up totally secular in San Francisco of the 50s and 60s. And they were not connected to Judaism or to Israel. In the weeks towards the Six-Day War, my dad, Zichro Livracha, he passed away a couple of years ago, and my mom, they became obsessed with what's going to happen with this tiny little country that, you know, has just been born, going to be wiped off earth. And when we won, they came to Israel, volunteered on a kibbutz. The first time my dad did an aliyah to the Torah, here's what happened. He comes up in Israel to make an aliyah. They ask him, what's your name? איך קוראים לך? Jim. לא, 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 לא. איך קוראים לך בעברית? יעקב. בן 30. That we need to fix. We need Jews to know where they came from. And you know, there was a recent president who said that the Jewish state is sort of a compensation because of the Shoah to the Jewish people. That is incorrect. The Jewish state is not because of the Shoah, it's despite the Shoah. The Jewish state is ours because for 3,800 years, it's been our home. That's it. It's our home. And anyone can open up the book that everyone in the world reads and just see it, in fact, from this very parsha.
Amen. You know, I'm a Sephardic Jew. I didn't grow up with Reform, conservative. I just grew up, it's Jewish, right? So it's taken me a while to really understand how different the Jewish community is in America than it is in Israel. If you don't mind me saying, I think Israel is more the Sephardic model, where denominations are just not that important. It's really a sense of Jewish first. So do you see that a possibility, because the IAC is all about Israeliness, but Israeliness also includes an Israeli way of doing Judaism, right? I mean, do you see a possibility where they can bring that Israeli way of doing Judaism in America?
I think it goes both ways. Unfortunately, I'm an Ashkenazi.
Right. Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect. But I will point out that it goes both ways. I'll tell you another story. My wife, Gilat, she grew up in a moshav, again, totally secular. I mean, she was a beauty, so yeah, I fell in love and got married and all. And I tried to show her, you know, how beautiful the religion is and all that. She didn't really buy in. Brought her to shul in Israel, no go. Because people there, you know, they come and daven and talk. Then I founded my technology startup, moved to Manhattan, and we lived there for 5 years. One of the first few weeks we were walking in Manhattan, and we saw a sign that said, how about you come to the beginner's minyan? So we looked interesting. We went up, and it was really different from Israel. No questions asked. No one looked at the color of my yarmulke or the length of my wife's sleeves. You are Jewish, you are welcome. And that's something that we need to, yeah. That's something that we definitely need to import from America to Israel. In terms of what we can export from Israel to American Jewry, I guess it's the big heart. And I think together, we have to form a relationship that will withstand hundreds and hundreds of years to come. And it's a big adventure.
Are you concerned when you see these issues that seem to be really serious? The issues like, you know, the woman at the wall at the Kotel and conversions. I mean, you're right in the thick of it. And a lot of American Jewish leaders take that really seriously. And often they seem so offended by some of the things that happen in Israel. Does that concern you in the sense of your agenda of strengthening the relationship?
It does. There's a huge chasm between you know, the Israeli mentality and the American Jewry mentality. These things are solvable. I don't know how many of you know, but I'm the guy who built the egalitarian plaza at the Kotel. Everyone was fussing around, and it took 3 days and 3 nights we built it. And it's good, it's there. It's sort of a boutique Kotel if you want. It's usually not very full. We could solve it. I feel that to some extent both sides are looking to fight rather than looking to find a solution. I think it's solvable if each side will compromise.
Yeah, do you feel that sometimes the body language is a little too strident? You know, like, I don't feel the love, I just feel the criticism. And do you feel that way sometimes when, and I don't know how you get around that.
I mean, there are different laws of physics in Israel and America. I'll tell you one thing, that when I came to America with my company, it took me a while to teach the Americans that it's considered impolite in Israel to actually let the other person finish his sentence. It's a big no. You don't do that. Also, it took a while to teach them that in Israel, you can actually, when an elevator door opens, you can enter before people exit, and somehow it works. So there's some mentality, but seriously, we need to look hundreds of years forward. At this point, I also want to specifically thank the extraordinary people, Sheldon and Mary Adelson, who have already left a profound mark on the future of the state of Israel and on the future of the state of the Jews in America and around the world. It's our goal together to ensure that this goes on forever, because we need that.
Well, you know, my favorite word of the evening was unequivocal. And I've never used it before. I use unconditional, but I love the word unequivocal. I also call it goosebumps. And I just love that word. And this is really what the IAC is bringing, an unequivocal love and connection to Israel. I want to leave you with one last question. What does success look like if you dream about a stronger relationship between the communities of Israel and the communities of the diaspora, especially America? When you look down the road, whether it's 5 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, what does success look like? What does a stronger relationship look like? How will we know when we're going in the right direction?
Well, it's two levels. 100 years from now, when a Jew hurts in Nahariya in Israel, a Jew in Wisconsin or in Boston or in Los Angeles will hurt with him. That's the basic level. Kol Israel arevim ze leze. All Jews.
Amen.
And at a higher level, that's a connection where we share the same fate. The higher level, though, is that not only we share the same fate, but we together share the same mission. And that mission is to make a more perfect world. But how do you do it? How do you do it? I think the state of Israel is the model. It's imperfect, but we're working on it. It's the model of an ideal state that's out there fighting for the free world in the toughest region in the whole world, providing full equal rights to its minorities, and being a good, open Jewish country with the support of Jews around the world. If we perfect that, we're going to teach the world how to do cyber. We're going to teach the world how to fight terrorism and prevail. We're going to teach the world how to be a strong democracy amid the toughest place in the world, and we will prevail.
So that Israel could lead the way in terms of the Jews being a light unto the nations.
Or legויים, a light upon the nations.
Amen. On that note, thank you very much.
תודה רבה.